What's up with your family? Back with you with another video. So today we got the conversation with Candice Owens. I don't know if y'all familiar with Lilly Phillips, the woman who decided to do a challenge with over like 100 men. You know, basically just having intercourse with 100 different men, which is wild. But you know, Candice, man, she the queen of truth. You know, you gonna see it. She get into it. But yeah, yesterday, usually I do Fine Wine Fridays where I go live, with my audience and do reactions, man. But I forgot I had to help my little bro with his break, so I didn't get to go live. But this a wine. I like to try new wines, so I like sweet wine. So I picked this up from the store, Senora Sangria. It's pretty good though. It's a white wine. It's pretty good. But if y'all got some wines, feel free to let me know in the comments or whatever. Let me know what's up, man. I'm a real wine drinker for sure. I love glass, you feel me? But yeah, let's get into this video though. See what she talking about.
Fingernails that are 28 feet long. So what is it that...
Okay, yeah, we foaming the sand. Basically, just before this, he was just basically talking about world records, leading up to, Lilly Phillips just naming like different world records and everything, just saying you don't really get much for winning world records and stuff like that, just for follow-up context. But let's continue.
That motivates these people. If you're not motivated by money, then these people are obviously just motivated by the notoriety. And there's no finer modern example of the trappings of notoriety than a young woman named Lilly Phillips. I told you a bit about her. She is indeed from England. I also want to remind you that she is just 23 years old, and she is you guessed it, Instagram model.
Pretty too. That's crazy. That's the crazy part.
New age of modeling. And she is desiring to break one of these obscure world records. And she's willing to defile herself and willing to go against basic principles of morality, because I'm certain that prior to her engaging in this, no one had really thought up how many men can one sleep with in one day. That's what she's thinking about. She wants to know how many men she can have sex with in one day, and she's going for 1,000. Now you might be going, why 1,000? Surely no one's gotten close to that. Actually, someone has. The existing record was set in Warsaw, Poland, back in 2004. I was kind of hoping it would be a random Polish girl that did this, but it wasn't. Of course, it's an American girl. Her name is Lisa Sparks. She is a porn star from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and she managed to sleep with 919 men in a single day. She set the record at the 3rd annual World Gangbang Championship in Warsaw.
What?
You're like me, you're going, I didn't know that there was a World Gangbang Championship in Warsaw, Poland, but there is. And she went out and did that, and she competed against 2 other women who wanted to achieve this level of notoriety, and she won by...
Man, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing, bro. Like, how could you, bro? Like, that can't be comfortable, bro. That gotta hurt, bro. That gotta hurt. Damn.
21 men, with each person that she was involved with sexually being allowed 45 seconds with her. And I gotta tell you this, the update on this is that on her website, she confessed, she said this, quote, "To be completely transparent with you all, this event is the one thing I regret doing in the 21 plus years in the porn industry to this day. This was also the only job I agreed to perform."
See, I just got big on, being spiritual and stuff like that. Like, when you having intercourse, man, that's like souls being attached to you, man. That's like real life soul ties, you know what I'm saying? And just imagine, man, like, man, I don't know if y'all ever watched, matter of fact, I don't know if y'all familiar with Ghost Rider. He a Marvel character, man. You know, collecting souls and stuff like that, man. It's kind of what it remind me of, man. It's like a lot of souls within you, man. Like that can't be good. That's different personalities, all type of stuff, man. I just did a cleanse the other day.
Perform strictly for the money. They say hindsight is 20/20, but I'd like to think that maybe as women we could have the foresight to recognize that sleeping with 919 men in one day is going to be something that you deeply regret. And at least that was kind of what I wanted to speak to Lilly Phillips about. I'm not really interested, I told you guys this yesterday, in this whole like outrage culture and screaming and calling each other names. I do think the right is starting to behave like the left, and there's no learning in any of it when we're just being outraged and screaming. Like, obviously what Lilly Phillips is doing is wrong. Me screaming about how wrong that is isn't really going to change her desires any, but having a conversation with her, why would I sit down with someone like this? It's important for other young ladies to hear this in this world where people are just...
As a matter of fact, before we get into it, it was a video that she did when she got interviewed. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Yeah, she was crying and everything, you know, like, and she wasn't crying because of the pain or whatever. I think it was really all them souls, you know what I'm saying? You feel them souls up in you know? Let me see. Where that video that she did.
He's making a huge amount of money, and strangely, it didn't feel to me like...
Let me see, man. I don't know. I'm trying to find it, but I'm gonna keep the video playing while I find it, man. It was when I find it, I'll stop it again.
So mesmerized by the trappings of fame, and it's not fame, of course, that they're after. It's infamy. So for Lilly Phillips to beat this record, just to be clear, if you're like me and maybe the math isn't mathing instantly, she's going to have sex with a man every 86.4 seconds for 24 hours straight. And that includes breaks to go to the bathroom, presumably. If she wants to eat something, I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't want to think through the logistics, but it works out to 86.4 seconds. She's got to have a guy. And they're preparing for this day, interviewing the guys, the scumbags are going to line up to do this. And in further preparation, Lilly decided to do a test trial with 100 men in one day. She's like, okay, I'm going to do 1/10 of it. And she invited documentary makers to capture the big feat because I don't know what she was imagining. I'm assuming she was just like, I'm breaking a record. It's going to be great. And I want to show you this clip that has gone viral. I should have covered this last week, but I was feeling sick, and you're going to definitely hear me sounding sick as I'm speaking with her.
Getting the funds you need for your business
again,
can be challenging.
These are the moments.
That's why we built
the cameras
NavPrime.
went right in
Build
and
your business
asked her
credit history.
how she felt about accomplishing 100 men in one day, and what they captured,
she
in my
about to play it
view,
then.
is the real Lilly. Raw emotions, which would follow any person who is a human being who has just been used and defiled in this way by 100 men. Take a listen.
It's not for the weak, girls.
Yeah,
if I'm honest,
yeah,
it was
just the one.
hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how.
Mind you, even though she was starting to regret it, she still continued to do it, which is crazy.
To explain it, like,
It's not like just having sex with someone.
yeah, just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
There's so much more things you can accomplish instead of giving yourself up like this, man. That's just diabolical, man, bro. Look, see?
Sorry.
Crime, bro. That's all them souls, all them souls getting to it, yeah.
So that right there is the real Lilly Phillips. And I want to be clear, this documentary maker, the guy next to her, I think his name is Josh Peters, absolute monster to be documenting that. I mean, you just have to be guided by basic principles of morality. And to see her breaking down like that and to be playing the part as if he's her.
Nah, I ain't lie, I don't care. Hey, you shouldn't be doing it. You know what you're doing. You know what's wrong. You don't go and show the world what you're doing.
Friend and really wanting to understand.
Go and show the world what you're doing.
Oh, she's a bit overwhelmed right now. Oh, is that shocking for you to hear too, Josh Peters, that this 23-year-old young woman who's making a massive mistake and you're, instead of trying to guide her away from it, wanting to capture it. But that's her. That raw emotion is the real Lilly Phillips.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm agreeing with what she's saying, but she grown at the end of the day. She knew it was wrong before she started. That's why she crying. Let's show the world. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Show the world your mistake. Trying to sleep with 1,000 men. Come on now. That's stupid.
And it made me realize that first and foremost, you are dealing with someone who's incredibly delicate, who is now having to put on a front in front of the world because she wants to make a lot of money. She wants to make a lot of money and she wants to do this quickly. She wants to do this in one day.
That's the path she chose to do.
In order to have a bunch of men sign up to watch that, they don't want to see her crying. So this is not good. She's got to rebrand it and pretend that she's really into it.
But I do. The men that did participate in this, bro, y'all wrong too, man. Cause why? You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all always trying to get your rocks off, bro. Come on, this the wrong way to do it, man. Like, that's nasty. Then I heard they weren't even using rubbers, bro. So just imagine, man, diseases, all type of stuff, man. Come on now. Y'all gotta think, bro. That's what's wrong with the world now, man.
The sex is good and she just loves sex so much and she's super freaky. It reminded me of a conversation that I had with Amber Rose. I can't remember if it actually made its way into our interview or if it was off camera, where she spoke about this, how she'd be dying on the inside being asked to do these things, but knowing that this is what was being demanded of her of the sex industry because guys are buying into this fantasy. And so my job sitting across from Lilly Phillips, like I said, wasn't to denigrate her, wasn't to make her feel worse. I'm 35 years old. She is 23 years old. It was truly to try to understand her and to at least get her to admit that she is only doing this because she wants money. And so I asked her really just a basic question. I said, if you're really trying to stress that this is not about money, are you telling me that if Ford Models came to you and offered you $50 million and say, you don't have to know him, here's $50 million, I just want you to walk down a Victoria's Secret and wear a bikini, you wouldn't take it because you just love the sex so much? And here's what she had to say. Take a listen.
Can you address though what she said? If someone offered you $50 million to never do this or to have never done this, would you have taken the 50 or would you still be like, no, it's something I want to do?
I've always said this. I did this as a hobby before I did it for work. So I was sleeping around and doing these stuff like that before I actually did OnlyFans. I was a lot more promiscuous off camera before I was on camera. And so no, I do this job because I love it so much. And to me, obviously money in every job is a big thing, but it's not about the money for me. It's about.
You said you did this to give back to your OnlyFans.
I didn't even know that.
You said that, I think.
No, as in.
How could you love all those men up in you like that, bro? How is that? How could you love that? That is not. That shouldn't be a sport, a hobby, bro. See, bro.
They have really helped me. You know
what you said. We thought my assistant.
I never said anything about money. Just about like
my
freedom.
Assistant sat in a room and decided that we should do this as a way to.
Why is that cool though, bro?
This lifestyle that I have.
Me and my assistant was talking, and I was like, I just looked up the world record because I was like, how cool would this be to do? Because obviously it's something that's kind of obviously never been done before. It'd be really unique content. It would also be giving, back to my supporters and stuff like that.
That's what's wrong, bro. All the content, man. You can create all kinds of other content, but you want to give your body up like that. Like, bro. It's all about
subscribed
content.
and, you know, made my life
She just
how it is
said
today.
it wasn't about the money, bro. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be trying to be doing it as a content creator, man. If it wasn't about the money, like, come on now, like, bro.
Right? I didn't say yeah, lifestyle. So
You got
is it
girls out
correct?
here doing it for
Freedom
free.
that I have. I love the life that OnlyFans has given me, definitely, and that's not necessarily money.
What freedom has it given to you if it's not money, out of curiosity?
So to be able to work for myself, to be able to do something I love, you know,
Working for yourself, meaning making,
I
right?
sorry.
Working for yourself as in being able to earn an income by yourself. And
No, so working for myself to be able to wake up and grab a coffee in the morning and not have to be in a desk at a 9 to 5, to be able to
There's more ways you can
and,
do that,
you know,
bro.
money.
Like, this 2025 now, bro. Like, digital marketing, you can sell a digital product, you can make your own product, bro. Like, but you wanna
living out of it, be able to support. To be able to
You wanna
support
widen
myself,
your
do
walls,
something
though.
yeah,
that I
that's
love,
money. Just
and be able
so you
to
know, that's all. That's money you're talking about. Like to be able to support
But
yourself.
I'm not just talking about like money. I'm talking about the freedom this lifestyle has given me.
Money
That's-
permits freedom. Money
Yeah.
permits freedom.
Yeah, we're just trying to connect the dots there.
So money means you have the freedom to do whatever you can in your
Right.
life, right? That's what money is, equals essentially time in this case, right? Because you're saying the
Yeah.
freedom to do what you want to do.
if you want some freedom, just don't work. Just don't work. You want the money, bro. That's why you doing it. You just said you was doing it for content.
So
but
the question
this
is,
the thing. I could do OnlyFans and make 20 grand a month and still have the same lifestyle as I do now, than have to go to the 6.
We gonna get into another one after this too, cause bro, them OnlyFans and models, bro, they making so much money, and it's because of the men though. It's why they making this much money. It's
And,
crazy.
you know, do the 1,000. Like I could. So it's not really like the money.
It's really the men
yeah,
fuck
because
for
now it's about the fame,
entertaining
the
this,
infamy,
bro.
I think for you.
So there
Shit
it
don't
is.
make
It's
sense.
obvious that this is something that is going to bring her great pain, but she's already pivoted and now she's pretending like she just had a weak moment after 100 men. And this is really what she's always wanted because, as you heard her say, she used to do this for free. She used to give up the goods for free. And we're supposed to imagine that
Free.
she was
There's a lot
sleeping
of girls
with
doing
1,000 men per day, as if that's clearly, you could be as promiscuous as you want, but no one has ever done that. And so it has to be about something else. Again, she's back to trying to sell the fantasy to men like she's actually into this. And she's not. And that's why it's important to speak to these people, because I think young women look at this as an example, and she's talking about how this is about freedom. Did you hear her? Yeah, sure, she's got to sleep with 1,000 strange men, but she can get a coffee in the morning. And she doesn't have to think about it. She's not stuck at a cubicle from a 9 to 5. So there are some women who are stuck at a cubicle from 9 to 5 and they then get a coffee. She has so much more freedom because she's just going to sleep with 1,000 men, 1,000 strangers in one day. And she doesn't really see that as a form of bondage, or at least the fake Lilly, who I was interviewing, the fake Lilly doesn't see that. The Lilly that was crying obviously very much understood what she was giving up, and it lets you know that buried down deep, she does have a soul. But the more compelling piece of this for me really was learning that her mother is involved in her career. Her mother manages the finances. And when Lilly spoke to journalists about this, she described her relationship with her mother. And
I didn't even know that. And I bet the mama only doing it because she getting paid from it. No, she making that bag. So she's like, I ain't forget it. And she grown, so. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, man, you can only do so much, man. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. You know what I'm saying?
and her father as being wholesome, that these were good parents because they were supporting her. I know it's shocking. Take a listen to what she had to say.
One of the questions that I certainly had when I was reading into your story was, I think that you kind of tried to portray it like you had this like normal upbringing. And I obviously don't buy that because I have children and I have a daughter, and your mother being involved in this signals to me that you had anything but a normal upbringing, because there's no mother that would spiritually want to see her child violated like that, because that's what it is, whether you perceive it or not. Your mother is watching you or helping you or dealing with the finances of you being violated 100 times in one day. And so I was very disturbed by that more than anything else. Is like I've heard of OnlyFans girls. I've sat down with them, respectfully on the whatever podcast, and a lot of them have stories and they understand that, my mom, my dad, my upbringing didn't do this. It led me to this choice in life, but you don't seem to have recognized your mother's abuse in this, which is quite alarming to me. So I'm just curious about your relationship with her.
I mean, my parents definitely don't describe having as, what did you say? Sorry, abusive or
Violating.
Violating. I don't think it's abusive. I think
Just
your daughter
violating.
being violated 100 times by strangers is abusive.
So my parents don't describe it as being violated. They don't really see it in that way. They know I've always been very liberal, and to be honest, my parents, they don't necessarily, they're not coaching me into it. They're not telling me, please keep having these people at all. They're not, they're not really exactly, I wouldn't really say like supportive, but at the end of the day, they love me. And what is it going to do if they disown me, stop talking to me? That would only cause more heartache. So they see it from a standpoint of, my mum does like my finances because she wants to help me. They just want to do what they can to help. It's not so much like if they disown me tomorrow, like I think that would just make everyone more upset.
Are you giving your mom a cut?
I'm not arguing that they should disown you. I mean, I understand like a mother's love for their child. I'm saying that it is unnatural for your mother to be counting the finances that you're earning from having 100 strangers violate you on the internet for.
I'm just saying that she wasn't raised, or she said she had a good upbringing, so maybe she was around people that influenced her to do this, or maybe it was the money she was seeing that, a lot of models was getting from OnlyFans, and I don't know, it could be various reasons, but I know a lot of people nowadays are impacted by the people they hang with, so I think, that had to be the reason, if you had a good upbringing. That's what I could think of.
And that
I had a good upbringing, and I ain't out here going crazy like this, because I know there's other ways I can be doing the work for myself, like I'm doing now. I don't know.
That is the part that there's just no way to normalize that. There's no way to normalize that. I'm a parent. There's no way, like I have a daughter, and the idea of being involved in that,
especially
like,
a daughter,
that if she goes down that path, that you're not going to be there and pray and hope that, she changes, and speak to her about that and say, I'm always going to love you. But I view it as predatory, parental behavior. And I don't think it's fair to even describe it as my parents are liberal. I mean, I'm obviously not a liberal, I'm a conservative, but none of my liberal friends, liberal family members, their parents would view this also as demonic, whether they have faith or not. They would just say, what parent would want that for their child? Because your mother is old enough to understand what the implications are for your future. You already comprehend what the futures are, making it. I get that you turn everything into a joke. I think you do that really to protect yourself as an armor. I don't think you actually think it's funny, but to recognize that like you're a beautiful young girl, and you're never going to have the prospects. You're not going to have a man that wants to have a family with you, because they're going to see you as damaged goods. Your mother partaking in that, just so you know, is a form of abuse. It is. It's abusive.
And this kind of gets into the broader point, and I think the main takeaway of what's going on with Lilly Phillips is that all across the world we are facing, I think, a crises of parenthood. Parents that want to be friends with their children, parents that have given into, and I want to be clear, I don't like her confining this and saying, well, this is what liberalism is. Yes, liberals tend to be quite liberal on the sex topic, but even them, I think a bridge too far is 1,000 men in one day. But this is a slippery slope, right? This is the slippery slope of the sex revolution. And it's why I'm very proud of my faith. I think the church got it right. I think things have become increasingly undone in this culture of sex education at school, teaching people that sex is healthy, having multiple partners is healthy. It is why I hate the modern feminist movement, because it leads women to this point of believing that they're going to be empowered the more partners that they have, when in reality what they're doing is they're decreasing their prospects in the future. And so I think Lilly Phillips is an important cultural moment. I think it's good for liberals and conservatives to consider what it is that she's discussing, and to realize, I hope, that we have more in common, and to kind of go back and think through the 1970s and the sexual revolution and the indoctrination that children are going through into believing that you're somehow backwards and you're wrong if you want to save yourself from marriage. But what she's doing is totally progressive. And if that's progress, I want to be clear. Send me backwards. I'm archaic. I am totally fine with being considered completely regressive and backwards on this topic of modern feminism. I think it cheapens both women and it cheapens both men. And that's all I'm going to say on the topic of Miss Lilly Phillips. Pray for her, truly. Hopefully she will not go through with this, but my guess is that she's too far deep in, and the people that are surrounding her are absolute monsters. All right, guys, the best way to help you keep God at the center of this season is by joining Hallow's Advent Pray 25 Prayer Challenge. Hallow, as you already know, is the #1 Christian prayer and meditation app in the world, offering thousands of guided prayers to help you get closer to God. And their prayer challenge is called For God So Loved the World, and it's going to help you experience the transformational power of God's love this Advent season. In the prayer challenge, survivalist Bear Grylls and Jonathan Rumi from The Chosen guide you through the book A Severe Mercy, a remarkable story of a couple's encounter with God. You'll also hear from Pastor Francis Chan and Jeff Cavins as they take you through reflections on scripture. Plus, actor Kevin James will be a part of the challenge to discuss the spiritual classic, Divine Intimacy. This season will be such a beautiful opportunity to be seriously transformed by God, so do not wait. You can get 3 months free right now when you sign up at hallow.com/Candice. Spend time in the most important thing this Christmas, your relationship with God. That's hallow.com/Candice for 3 months free of Hallow. All right, let's start with Tucker Carlson. He's in trouble because I'm not in trouble. So he's in trouble. Just like I said, it's a game of ping pong. And obviously what gets you into trouble is hosting conversations and getting people out of this propagandist web of information that we have in the West. I think now people are realizing we are severely propagandized. We are told one version of events, and it's really just whoever's paying the most money to our politicians in DC, at least pertaining to America. So you got big pharma propaganda and you've got the war machine. And obviously, I do want to say this, we are now at the tipping point on the conversation about Israel. And it's going to annoy me because I know in 2025, all of these conservative cowards who were quiet and allowed everyone else to take the bullets, let Tucker.
Okay, so yeah, so she sounds like she got like different topics, so I just wanted to touch bases on the OnlyFans girl. That's crazy, man. 100 man, bro. Like, that's crazy work. But I seen another video of a girl that was making 43 million on OnlyFans, and she still got a V card. But you can catch that one in the next video. I'll holler at y'all and know. Y'all be smooth.